Welcome back to Grounding and Bounding Masterclass series. Today in episode 4, we're breaking down one of the most confusing parts of the OESC. Ground rod versus ground plates, and when you're required to use each one under the 2024 code. We'll cover code rules, conductor size, depth, connection methods, and the real world difference between the two. A ground rod is simply a vertical grounding electrode. It gives the surface a reference point to Earth, helps stabilize voltage, and reduce lightning impact. But it does not trip breakers. Under OESC 2024, your ground rod must be at least 10 feet, 3 meters long, half-inch steel or copper clad, driven to full depth unless rock stops it, minimum 600 millimeters, 2 feet above grade for the conductor clamp. The GC can be copper, aluminum, or copper clad depending on location exposure. What ground plate does. A ground plate replaces the rod when driving a rod is not practical, such as rocky terrain or bedrock. OESC Rule 10-802A and B allows a ground plate as an alternative electrode. A complement ground plate must be minimum 0.2 meters square surface area, minimum 6 millimeters thick, buried at least 600 millimeters below grade, copper or galvanized steel depending on corrosion. The plates create surface area with earth that makes up for not being able to drive a rod. Which one is better and when to use it? In normal soil, a 10-foot rod is faster, cheaper, and code approved. But in certain locations, northern Canada, rock, ledge, a rod is useless because you can't get proper contact. Use a ground rod when soil is soft. You can drive the full length, standard residential, or light commercial. Use a ground plate when rock/bedrock stops rod penetration, rod depth is impossible, ESA or inspector prefers a surface area contact. You need an alternative electrode. Under OESC 2024, Rule 10-806, your grounding electrode conductor size depends on service conductor size. Example, 100 amp service, number 8 copper. 200 amp service, number 6 copper. 400 amp service, number 4 copper. Aluminum must be upsized and cannot be used where exposed to physical damage. Connections must be made with a listed approved clamp, weather resistant, accessible unless buried, copper to copper preferred. Never put the GC under a lug not rated for grounding. Never use a self-screw lug meant for feeders. So remember this. Ground rod, vertical electrode, 10 feet long. Use where soil allows full depth. Ground plate, alternative electrode, 0.2 meters minimum surface area. Use where driving a rod is not possible. And your GC only creates the reference to earth. Bonding is what clears the fault. This is your episode 4 breakdown. Stay safe, stay grounded, and see you in episode 5. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also become a member of the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next live stream.